Hi everyone, I'm Monarch of Tetris, and today I'll be showing you my fully upgraded village in Minecraft. And before I show you the completed village, I actually want to show you what the village looked like before I made any changes to it, because I'm going to be making a lot of changes to this village. So before, we'll just go through a quick rundown of what the village looks like before I did any changes. So now that you've seen what the village looked like before I made any changes, here's the finished product. After I made a lot of changes to it, generated a lot of different structures and buildings in it. So I'll just do a quick flyby first. So if this area looks a little familiar, it's because it's actually a village that generated right next to this jungle temple that I renovated in my last video. The reason I chose a desert village is just because I think desert villages are the coolest biome, coolest type of village that can generate in the game. I just really like the sandstone and terracotta aesthetic of it. I just think it looks really nice. So a general thing I did is just like the desert temple, the default desert village in Minecraft only used this normal terracotta block. So I just added red terracotta and orange terracotta to the color palette anywhere there's terracotta in the build. So on top of buildings like this big tower building, I added it. Then on all the lamps, I incorporated the orange terracotta and red terracotta. So I just think that looks a lot nicer. Then over here, this actually spawned naturally, but they had this cool pattern on the street, which I really liked with the terracotta. So I just expanded it here, and then over here I added a red version of that pattern, and then down here on this side I added an orange terracotta version of that pattern, which I think looks really nice. So going over here, I added this as a different meeting place. I think the villagers would need a lot of places to meet up. So I just added this, and then I replaced the different colored glazed terracotta blocks with this red variant and this orange colored variant, just to keep with the theme. And I think the red one especially looks really nice. I don't really like the orange glazed terracotta design that much, but this red one is really clean. I really like that design. So now I'll just start to go over the villages, or the buildings one by one, and I'll just start with all the residential buildings. So some of these were in the village before, some of these I generated using these structure blocks, just like I generated a bunch of the working buildings as well. So for most of the residential buildings, I added carpet. So a lot of them had carpet already, so I just expanded that. I added these pots with either dead bushes or cactuses in them. I think those look pretty nice. So that's one building. Another building, terracotta, cactus. some carpet. So this building actually changed a little bit. It originally had a ladder going up from the first floor to the second floor. Hold up, let me turn the villager noises down. They get annoying after a while. This had a ladder that went from the first floor up to the second floor. But then you realize that villagers can't even really use ladders. Like, they don't seek them out. They can only use them if you kind of push them into the ladder. So I just kind of remade this. So I turned this area down here into a bedroom with a dark green bed and carpet. And you go up the stairs. There's another bedroom in here. Lime green bed and carpet. And then there's a door here. And then I made this into a third bedroom with another bed and carpet. And it used to have like a balcony, so I just kind of scrapped that in order to make this kind of like a, kind of have 3 villagers can stay in this one building. It's pretty cool. Since it is by far the largest residential house in the village. So this house, dark green theme, a cactus on the wall. This one actually had a cyan bed with some carpet, so I thought that was cool. I like it. There's only a couple of cyan beds. A couple more houses over here. Ooh, I actually have to fix this one. Some last minute additions. So I should add cyan carpet for that bed. Make sure it matches. This one. Oh, this one too. So it has a dark green bed, so I add that carpet for it. And then there's one more house over here. Or, not that one. So this one, just on the roof. I've incorporated the orange and red terracotta. I really think these 3 colors look really nice next to each other. So this one's cyan bed. So it's got the cyan carpet. Green bed, green carpet. Based on the amount of beds, up to 17 villagers could live here, which I think is a pretty good amount for like a large village in Minecraft. Like 15 to 20 villagers. That way you can have every single profession covered, and even have like a few farmers or a few blacksmith or fishers, like if you want multiple of one profession. So speaking of farmers, as we move on to the work buildings, I'll start with those. So we have every single type of farm here. We have like the medium-sized farm, which has these lanes of crops. The small farm, which just has one piece of water in the middle. And then there's a large farm that has this sprawling kind of farm. Probably should have just hoed these and filled them in, but it's all right. Then a lot of hay. And then this little, I guess, kind of looks like a bathtub of water here. And then I really like how they did the composter blocks with the jungle trapdoors on the side. Adds like a really nice look for the composters, so that's pretty nice. And I'll just go down this side. So next structure, this one was in the original build. This is the butcher structure. So what I did with this is I'll do this one first. So I really like this structure. This is the mason one with not the mason, this is the armorer with the blast furnace. So I really like how they made this like mock chimney. And I added an anvil here. I like how they made this mock chimney that goes up, and there's like a hole, and the chimney would come up here. If only they could add like a little hole on the top of the wall here, so it actually looked like a chimney. But I copied that over here for the smoker. So I added the granite blocks, and then the hole, and then the granite wall that comes out like that. So I think it looks pretty nice. So then here I added a cauldron so the animals could have some water to drink. Had to add walls around it because they kept jumping on it. Apparently animals can jump on cauldrons. Did not know that. And just added a bunch of torches. Generally I just added torches throughout the entire build. So in here we have pigs, and we have chickens, and Should have been rabbits too. If those, maybe they died or something. Well, I'll spawn a few in. Should be rabbits because you can use rabbit hide to get leather. And I don't think a farm like this could support something big like a cow. So farming rabbits would probably work a lot better. So over here, this is the leather workers building. So I had a lot of different colors terracotta on the top. For some of these buildings, like this one here, I couldn't get them to generate correctly, like facing the right side. And every time I generated the building, I didn't want to have to destroy every single block to try to get it to face the right side. So not every building is facing the right way, but still I went through every building and made changes to them. So you go into this one, the cauldron on the bottom. Go up, I added a chest here just with some different colored dyes in it for the leather worker to use. And then there's a cauldron out here if the leather worker wants to do their job kind of in the sun. Also, I think they need to hang out things to dry. So they could... I added this fence over here where they could, lay pieces of leather out to dry after they've been, dyed. So this is kind of a weird building. For some reason, it generated, 2 blocks high. So it's kind of a long walk up the stairs in order to actually get into it. But this is the building with the smelting table in it. So what here I just added, or this just has a chest with some tools, an anvil, crafting table, and I just added terracotta along the whole wall here. I think it looks pretty nice. But added a hole here and filled it with a dead plant. And then this bottom room was pretty interesting. I wasn't really sure what to do with this. It's very pretty, but it's basically just spawned, the entire floor was spawned with glazed terracotta. So I changed it to the red and orange terracotta to fit the theme. And I think maybe this could be like a private meeting room between 2 villagers. So I just added these 2 chairs in here. Would be a very nice area. Very nice area with the floor and the buttons on the wall to have a nice chat. This building here is the Fletcher's building. And then again, Minecraft, please add some functionality to the Fletcher block. I still can't believe it doesn't do anything. But in this building, I added kind of an archery range here. So just pretend I had a crossbow or something. The Fletcher could test their arrows and bows by firing them into the target block over here. And then I added some hay as well. But want to try to get a bullseye there. Next building over here. This is the blacksmith. So I didn't change too much with this. I like how the bars look, all the cobblestone. This is the only cobblestone in the entire village. So it looks kind of interesting. I think all I did with this was just add an anvil. I added a sword in here because I think there should be some kind of weapons. That's what they're supposed to be making and repairing in here. So this one I just accidentally generated it backwards, so the entrance is on this side. But this is the shepherd's building. So since the shepherd, their block is a loom, I decided to add some flags for it, and I kind of kept the bed theme, or the colors of the bed. So I have a light green, green, and cyan flags on this side, and I believe, yep, on the other side too. They have some sheep in here, some brown and black sheep. I guess I should have changed those to a green or cyan sheep. Oh well. You can always dye them with the dyes from the leather worker building. So just 1 piece of hay, 2 looms in here. Added a fence here so the sheep couldn't escape. Next building is the mason building. So all I changed with this is I just incorporated the new terracotta colors and then replaced this with an orange glazed and red glazed terracotta. Still have the gravel block in here. This is a pretty simple building. Next one is the fisher's building. So I added this little dock here for the fishers to actually be able to fish in this lake. But why is there a rabbit in the boat? Okay. So I added this little dock so the fishers can fish in the lake. I really like how this village generated kind of around this lake. It's pretty cool. So for the actual building, I don't think I actually changed anything really for this. 'Cause this is kind of a simple building. I mean, it just has barrels in it, and then barrels in it, hay on the outside. So that one's fine. Oh, then I forgot to mention around specifically the mason building. Instead of having the normal terracotta, I had 2 glazed terracotta lamps here. So that looks nice. Then I added this bridge that goes across the lake, and then with all the wood here, I used jungle wood because that's the kind of wood they use for their doors and everything wood related in this village. So for the dock, also uses jungle planks. So I think that bridge looks nice. Jungle wood just has a nice color to it. And this building is the library. So I just expanded the carpet in here. It had rows of white and light green carpet, so I just expanded that. Looks pretty nice. And it just has the lectern, some cactuses, books. Very nice building. Oh, I forgot to go over this building. So this is another residential building, but it was actually the cartographer's building to begin with, which I didn't really think much sense. But I moved the cartographer actually into that building, which I'll go over next. But I turned this one to residential, so you just kind of go up in this kind of little small room in here. You go up these walls. There's a door here, another small bedroom, but then that room has another entrance on this side. So this is like the big tower that spawns. And I thought it'd be cool if the cartographer worked in here. So I made this kind of the cartographer's base. There's a bedroom at the bottom. And if you go up all the stairs, I added this little loft up here that the cartographer would kind of sleep in. So light green beds, some carpet around it, hole with the cactus. And then in here I added a spyglass because I think the cartographer would need to actually use that. So if you go up here, I added a crafting table. There's a cartographer block. I added planks around this so villagers would fall off and die. I added some more terracotta into different colors. So if you're up here, you can actually kind of get a good look at all your surroundings, because I think that makes sense. The cartographer would need to work someplace high in order to actually be able to see stuff. You need to work somewhere with a high vantage point. So that's why I moved the cartographer into this big building. And lastly, there was this little animal pen here with some pigs in it. So for some reason the slabs only covered half of this, so I just expanded the slab so they actually covered the entire base. Just added some more torches. And over here I made a desert well so that the villagers can have something to drink. So just imagine this goes all the way down, and it's actually getting well water from an underground aquifer or something like that. Oh, the one more building I forgot. This is the temple. So in here, this is where the cleric would make potions. But I also just interpreted this as kind of like a church or place of worship for the villagers. So I added 2 lecterns here. Replaced the glazed terracotta here with this red-orange pattern, which I think looks nice. Added some chairs. So 8 villagers could kind of sit in here. If I was completely rebuilding this building from scratch, I would definitely make it a little bigger so more villagers could sit. So I could add maybe a third and fourth row, expand it sideways so they could have 3 seats. But as for now, I think it's a pretty nice building. I definitely like this pattern for the floor a lot. It looks really nice. And that's actually everything. I had a really fun time going through this building, just upgrading it, looking at all the different buildings, generating them. I'm just going through, seeing what could be improved and changed. So I tried to keep this within the feel of vanilla Minecraft. This would be crazy to find, but there's nothing in the game's code that says a village as big as this can't technically spawn. So I just tried to go into this thinking what if you just ran into a village that was just absolute most stacked village, and it had a bunch of villagers, all the professions, all the buildings that could spawn. And then I just went through and just improved the color theme, add some nice touch-ups like the bridges and dock and and boat and the patterns on the street, just to make it look really lived in, and the villagers have a really nice life here. So I hope you enjoyed my fully upgraded Minecraft village. Not sure what I'll do next. I might do different villages in different biomes, like maybe a plains or tundra village. Maybe tundra next. Those are usually pretty cool as well. But I think I'll save that for later. I think I'll probably do Minecraft Stronghold next for my next renovation video. But hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Peace.